Folks, BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, college basketball, UFC, and the NHL, baby, BetOnline is the number one sports betting source for the new year. From touchdowns to three-pointers and hat tricks, BetOnline has you covered on every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline, the game starts here. Enjoy the show. And I should have gone to the other screen, but that's okay. We're going to do it now. We're going to do it live. Folks, we are back. How are we all today? Steve Chico, Ryan Quigley, coming at you with all the Flyers news that's shit to print. I don't know what the hell I'm going with today. I'm just going out there. But
I've never heard that expression before. Shit to print.
There's the old, I forget what newspaper it was, but it was like all the news that's fit to print. And to play on that, because I'm just the soul of wit over here. Yeah. But how are we doing today, folks? I needed to start this show off with a true atrocity that was brought to my attention earlier today by the one and only Thomas Williams from Broad Street Hockey. And this, have you seen this yet, Quigs, what we're about to endure?
I honestly don't think, no.
This is great. Yeah. Okay. So number one, I'm not endorsing many Twitter links these days because fuck that guy in a site. But listen, this was shared from Thomas from that site that we don't go on anymore. And it's some sort of account that shows off like stadium foods from different stadiums. And I believe this was over in England, but prepare for the Philly cheesesteak at Sheffield that we are seeing here. What is Sheffield? I don't even know.
Oh my God.
This is the worst thing I've ever seen.
Oh, that's awful.
This is like, it looks like.
Is that meat?
I don't know.
What did they do to that meat?
What did they do to that meat? It is gray. It is washed out. It is horrific. And I truly don't understand what has been done to this. It looks like there's roasted red peppers and caramelized onions. I don't know what kind of cheese that is. That bread looks hard as hell. And the meat, is it overcooked steak? Is it sirloin?
I don't know what that is. That is like, awful.
It looks like Salisbury steak, like, which is basically just brown meat, right? Like whatever it is, it's been overcooked to hell and back. And this is just an atrocity. This is even worse than when they have like those green pepper cheesesteaks that they put out there. But I'm going to stop sharing the screen because this is like,
that's really hard.
This is actually like, it is hard to look at. I don't enjoy looking at that. So yeah, Thomas shared that with me. I really like gagged when I saw that.
That's awful. Like, and listen, like the English cooking ain't their strong suit. Like the foods that they do have,
they love
like
beans.
Iconic over there. Real bad.
The English and Italian Joe are shaking hands on loving beans.
Yeah, that's true. But that I think it all stops there because Italian Joe can actually cook.
That guy can cook. He's a very good cook.
The English cannot fucking cook.
And with the exception, the notable Philadelphia exception of Stargazy, which does English style food on Passyunk Avenue, and they are delicious. But they are the exception, not the rule.
Okay.
But yeah, that thing is horrifying. And if that's what people think of Philly cheesesteaks like, I don't know what we got to do to up the international reputation there because that thing's an atrocity. We got to dice that meat, bud. We can't be having like caramel. Number one, we got to talk about the caramelized onions. All right. Why would you ever think it's caramelized onions? Okay. It's fried onions, right? We're not caramelizing that shit. That's just not.
Well, I do love caramelized onions, but like,
yeah, but it's not a Philly cheesesteak thing. It's fried onions.
That's the thing. It's got to be fried onions. Caramelized onions go on a burger.
Sure, you can do that on a burger. I'm not a big onion guy to start with. I'm a without guy personally, but hey, to each his own. I for some reason have a weird texture thing with onions, so like I'll use it as an ingredient, but like generally speaking, I don't like the texture of onions. Just a weird thing about me. I'm a texture freak sometimes.
You know, that's funny you say that because like now that I'm thinking about it, I think that's my problem with like pickles and cucumbers and anything of the like also people fucking love eggplant. Like I think eggplant sucks. Like for me the vegetables that I like I want them to like, so if I'm making vegetables like at home, they need to be roasted. So whether that's asparagus, broccoli, whatever it is, it's got to be roasted. I need to roast them because like I feel like I don't like it when it's chewy. I don't like any chew.
That's fair. Yeah.
So like for me, like I leave my broccoli, and when I'm roasting them, I put them in the oven until they're like not black, but like I want.
I'll char some broccoli.
I want some char. I want some serious char. And then
I like broccoli in the air fryer like that. Actually, I'll put olive oil and a little bit of sea salt on broccoli and throw it in the air fryer.
Yeah.
For like, I don't know, like 7 minutes or something. And get a little char on the fringes. I like it like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm with you on the roasting.
Asparagus, apparently you actually want to do the opposite and take it out sooner. So like the more crunchy you want it, the less you have it in the oven.
Yeah.
But like, I still want that crunch, like I do not want it to be mushy and gross. And
asparagus is weird if it's mushy. Like I can eat I don't love mushy broccoli, but I can eat mushy broccoli. I can't eat mushy asparagus. That's just like gross.
I see. That's weird. I'm the opposite. I can eat mushy asparagus. I don't want to, but like mushy broccoli, get it out of here. Like
I'll just mix it up into some mac and cheese. Go nuts.
Oh no. Speaking of mac and cheese, have you ever had the mac and cheese from Urban Village?
I can't say I have.
Dude, it's good. It's
all right.
Real,
I'll try it out.
Good.
I love some mac and cheese. I'm a mac and cheese fiend, so sign me up. Sign me up. Yeah, I'll try any mac and cheese. I will not try any old cheesesteak though, and not going over to what was it, Sheffield, and try that. Yeah, where that atrocity.
Oh wait, when you say that's London, did you mean England?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I wasn't sure if you were talking. See, this is something that only hockey people can like be confused about. Because I was thinking, like, are you talking about London, Ontario?
Yeah, that is one of the few things.
Yeah. So like
that's some hockey confusion.
Yeah, but that makes sense. But yeah, man, like those English.
Well, there we go. Okay, it's Sheffield Wednesday Football Club is where that was.
Okay.
So sure, the Sheffield Wednesday Football Club. They are the Owls. Great. But they're not the Temple Owls because no self-respecting Temple Owl would ever eat that atrocity. It's just like the meat obviously is horrific because, a cheesesteak is diced meat, or sometimes if you prefer like that Steve's Prince of Steak style, you get the thin steakum or, steakum style. But like that's some thick ass meat and whatever that is. Mm-hmm. And I take umbrage with the peppers, like you can have peppers on your cheesesteak. That's fine. That's your prerogative. But like, that's not a default option. Okay. And I've never seen a roasted red pepper. I've seen, a lot of markets throughout the United States for some reason think like Philly people put like green peppers on all our sandwiches, which is like, I can't even name you, except for maybe like a sausage and pepper sandwich, which it's literally called a sausage and pepper sandwich. Outside of that, I can't name you a Philly sandwich that has green peppers by default.
Right. Yeah. Like for me, if I'm getting a cheesesteak, like I'm getting, obviously the steak, the cheese, grilled onions. That's really it. Like
that's all it should be.
Yeah, that's all it is. So
your cheese and with or without, that's pretty much it. But like I have seen now, most self-respecting cheesesteak places have the little like, what are they? Cherry peppers, I think, like the little cherry pepper station.
Oh yeah.
Or like the pepper relish that you can put on. That's good. But like, it's never a default option. And it's just like, it drives me nuts when I see green peppers as a default option. Like, no, it's just not a thing, guys.
Sometimes I will add lettuce, but it depends.
Excuse me? Did you just say you add lettuce?
Like I'll
have
steak? Like with some lettuce in there. Yeah. And I think the reason why is because
oh my god,
there's a place in Richmond. It's a pizza joint, Richmond, Virginia, called Mary Angela's, and solid pizza. Not like knock your socks off good, but it's good. But they also sell Philly style like subs, so cheesesteaks essentially. And I always would get the grilled onions, and I would get like
grilled onions too. Not fried onions, grilled onions.
Yeah.
Because the Philly default is fried onion.
Fried or grilled. I like to me, it's like the same thing, and I know it's not.
It pretty much. I mean, like it's more or less. I'll give you that one. But the lettuce is not a default out. Now, some people opt for the cheesesteak hoagie, but that is a divisive topic in Philadelphia, the cheesesteak hoagie, because the cheesesteak hoagie, some people absolutely loathe the idea of it. And other people are like, well, I need some vegetables in there, which granted, that's fair. You probably should get some vegetables in there with your cheesesteak because that is not great for the old anything, but like, except for taste buds. But yeah, the cheesesteak hoagie is a divisive one. I will say to this day, I think I've mentioned this on the pod a long time ago, but the worst cheesesteak order I have ever heard within the city limits of Philadelphia.
I was going to ask,
was I saw a guy at a cart near my old job, which was across from Independence Hall in Old City, Philly, and a guy asked for a cheesesteak with mayo and mustard.
Oh no.
And then he reconsidered it and he has to either hold the mayo or the mustard. I forget which one, but I was just like,
but neither.
That's
you
not
don't put either on there.
I like made a face. Like I like get him. I was on like a coffee run and just like I almost did a spit take with the hot coffee.
Yeah, no, that's sad to hear.
Like this is from a guy who's drinking a mystery substance right here. Right. You know, you may have noticed that my water's it's not pee. I swear to God, I'm not drinking pee tonight. Yeah. I am drinking. It's airborne because I'm a little. I don't know if I'm under the weather yet. It's that wonderful time of the year. And on that note, I'm gonna. It's the most wonderful time of the year when the temperatures drop and people start getting sick left and right. So I don't know if I'm getting sick. This is going to be a short pod, by the way, on that note, but we'll get into the Flyers very shortly. But yeah, this is airborne that I'm taking just in case to bolster the immune system here.
There you go.
We got to be healthy, Quigs. We got to be healthy because the Eagles host the NFC Championship game this weekend. And I am just over the moon about this team, even if like, oh, we got questions. Oh, I don't think the passing game, blah, blah, blah. Who gives a shit? The Eagles are playing for a chance. They're hosting the NFC Championship game with a chance to get into the Super Bowl.
Home field advantage.
With home field advantage.
Eagles were hoping to get home field advantage. You know, everyone was praying for the Lions to lose. Didn't even need it to happen. Like it's home field advantage. The Super Bowl goes through Philly.
We got the best defense. We got the best running back. I'm ready, baby. Let's do it. I'm very pumped about this. And you know, Quigs, I know you didn't get to venture out because of the snow that happened on Sunday, but you know, look, you can have quibbles about that game, whatever you say. Dude, what a sight it was. What a cool experience.
It was amazing. I was so happy watching that game, like the snow coming down. Like there's just something about a snow game, man. Like I love a good snow football game.
I think it's one of the best visuals in sports.
Yes.
Is a snowy football game.
Yeah.
And like the visual of Saquon Barkley from field level breaking that long touchdown is like one of the coolest sports things I've seen in a while.
Are you talking about that? Are you talking about that NFL Films video that they got with like that orchestral thing in the back? Oh my God. I saw another one that the Eagles posted on their Instagram where they took this, what's that song? Claire de Lune by Claude Debussy, where it's like the piano version and it's like a very soft piano, like orchestral thing. But it was like perfect because it was just like the snow coming down and like, you know, just the sights and sounds. And it was so sick. Like, dude, there's just something about snow football, man. And the fact that it happened in a playoff game for the Eagles is so awesome because, like, you know, to me, the Snow Bowl, like the LaShawn McCoy game, was sick. It was awesome. It was really cool. Glad it happened. But like, this game meant something.
That was a regular season game.
Yeah,
like,
that was a regular season game.
This is the playoffs.
This is a fucking playoff game that's going to go down in history. Like people are going to be talking about the Saquon Barkley plays forever in Philadelphia.
Absolutely. And he's had, I would say, easily one of the greatest seasons of any athlete in Philadelphia sports history, which is like part of the reason I needed to bring this up this week. Cause like, I don't have an Eagles podcast and, you know, sorry, not sorry for the people who aren't Birds fans who have to listen to this, but like Saquon's having a historic year and it's just like, it's a phenomenon. And I like to talk Philadelphia in general. And this is like the number one story in Philadelphia. And it just, man, Philly is just so much better when the Birds are good. People are just happier. you walk around, like there's definitely like a little bit of levity that there isn't normally. And Saquon Barkley just being, I think, number one, just seems like a genuinely great guy. But on top of that, just an absolute steal. Like to get him from a rival and just
in the
have
grand
him,
scheme, they're not paying him that much. They're
no,
really not.
no, they're not. And to get him from a rival who would try to cheap out on him, and just to see a guy enjoy playing the game so much is really cool, because like you can see it a lot where athletes are just like kind of miserable, and you run into your WIP callers, you're like, I wish I could be miserable to be a millionaire, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
We all get that. But like, it's cool to actually see a guy like enjoy playing the game again and have the joy that Saquon Barkley is having. And just like, it's fun, man. It's just fun having the Eagles in it. We had a bunch of people over on Sunday. We might have more over this coming Sunday. And we're, our big thing is, and we did this during the Eagles Super Bowl run a few years back, but we love to either make chili or get some chili for it, get some chili going on. We just did chili this past time because chili, and I got some like Trader Joe's like cocktail weeders, like pigs in a blankets. Because you didn't really want to order out in that snowstorm, but I mean, we might order out this Sunday. We'll see what happens, but like, it's just cool, man. It was such a like great visual. And like, you think about like great Philly sports visuals from like the past, like, I don't know, 25 odd years or whatever. And so many of them involve like the elements. Like I think of the Flyers. My number one thing is like Claude Giroux at the Stadium Series game. Are You Not Entertained? And with the Eagles, I think about the previous snow game with LaShawn McCoy doing like the leap over the guys. And I think about Saquon Barkley this past one. And the other one I think about is Bedlam at the Bank with Bryce Harper hitting that home run in the rain, which is
right
to this day the greatest moment I've been present for in Philly sports history.
This snow game, there was something about it that just felt different. And again, it was the playoffs, but like,
I think also a big factor is like, it was like fine on the field to start the game. There was just like a few flakes, but like nothing big. And then all of a sudden you look down and that field's covered.
At halftime, it went nuts. And that's because, the temperature dropped a little bit more. So it started looking like more snow than sleet. But like, I think the thing about this snow game compared to the LaShawn McCoy snow game is like this like right now, this team is on a run, and like this run is straight up powered by Saquon Barkley. Like, listen, like I'm just going to say it right now. And like, I might regret saying this and there being a record of me saying this, but I'm going to say it anyway. I think the Eagles are going to the Super Bowl, and I don't know how they lose the Super Bowl with a player as just starved and just dying to taste like a Super Bowl victory, quite like Saquon Barkley is right now. Like he's not going to, no one can stop him. There's no way. Well, even if you can game plan for him, you can do whatever you want. He's going to be like, fuck you. No.
Yeah.
Like,
well, and that's the thing is the Eagles offensive line meeting Saquon Barkley is like a chocolate meets peanut butter moment there.
It's crazy
because the Eagles offensive line is dominant. Like I'm hoping from a Flyers perspective that like in a few years we can find the center that completes Matvei Mishkov like this, because that's what the Flyers need is they need a guy who can complement Mishkov in a way that really utilizes his talent so well. And that's what the Eagles have going here is they found a front that can give Saquon Barkley the room to actually do his thing that he could never do with the Giants. And also like, say whatever you will about Jalen Hurts, but like that offense does enough passing wise to open up space for him. And the thing is like, they all meld, they work well together. It's a great combination. And that's what I hope we can be talking about in a couple of years with the Flyers.
Yeah. Yeah. If they listen, I'm telling you right now, like I believe I'm going to be watching the game in Manayunk. If Eagles win, I'm coming back. I think I have to Uber.
Good luck with that.
Honestly, it's a great point. I don't know how the hell I'm going to get back, Steve, but
I mean, the regional rail will be going home.
Yeah. One way or another, I am absolutely, if they win, I'm going to Broad Street. Like, no questions asked.
I'll see you there. I'll get a fireworks scar number 2.
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to be hurt.
You're ready to go.
I'm ready to suffer injuries. I'm ready to celebrate the only way that an Eagles fan should. Like,
you gotta love it, man. It just makes everything so much better. And I also have to give a quick shout out before we finish with the Birds talk to my guy Jalen Carter over there, who what a fucking steal that guy
saved
was.
The game. He saved everything.
He's a monster. Like, he's an absolute defensive monster, and like I friggin' love him. He's great. Next time
so good.
He's so good, and let's get him and Mailata together on defense for the Flyers and just destroy everybody.
It would be incredible.
When I saw Mailata at the Flyers game a few weeks back, like, I was just like, oh my God, I would kill to see him back there.
Oh God. Yeah. Yeah. He probably could too. He's a hell of an athlete.
He's so athletic. And Carter is so athletic. Carter, though, I just love a trash talker. And he's just like an A+++ trash talker.
What I
he
love
gets
about
in guys'
him,
he's just a monster.
I love that he's a huge trash talker, but he's not like a he does it he's very calculated with his trash talk. He's trying to get you to do something to him. And then if you even touch him, he is like he's the absolute king of embellishing, like you could lightly shove him and he'll just be like, bah! And like, totally go back. And it's it's so funny.
It's great.
And I love him. I really, really, really love him.
He's got to get together. Can Jalen Carter start a podcast with Travis Konechny on trash talking? Because I'm into it.
Oh, Steve, that would be amazing.
I'm into it big time.
I would listen every week.
Totally into that. And I'll tell you what else I'm into. I'm into going to hockey games, which I haven't been to in a long time. One might even say it's been a while. I have not been. I don't think I was thinking about this. So last night I made my triumphant return to the Wells Fargo Center.
Oh, wow.
And I don't think I have been to a regular season Flyers game since
years.
Claude Giroux's last game.
Yeah. It's been a long time.
Part of that was I protested the team when Tony D'Angelo came here because I just did not agree with a lot of the moves being made. And then,
well, you were not the only one. A lot of people, there was not good attendance that season.
And then I started saving for my house. So going to Flyers games is not helping with saving for a house. And then I bought the house and I don't have money. So then I couldn't go. Part of that is also Brucey. We got Bruce, and when he was just a little guy, we didn't like leave him alone much. Yeah, now he's a big boy. He's almost 2 now, so he gets a lot more alone time now, and he's good with it. He's a good boy now. But Muscuzzi. But I made my triumphant return to Wells Fargo Center. Shout out to my sister who got me tickets for Christmas. It was awesome. I need to get back soon because I just like I've been to a couple of alumni games and they're fun, but there's just nothing like competitive hockey in person. Yeah. Like, it's just so special. And like, it's cool to get a reminder of it sometimes. The other thing is, like, I'm podcasting a lot. I've been doing like the PHLY stuff and this, and it's like, I talk about it all the time. I'm just talking about hockey half my week. Right. But like, I'm not seeing hockey in person, and just like, just being able to track the players. Like, I haven't seen Mishkov in person, so that was really cool to see what he's doing without the puck and stuff like that. So impressed to watch Noah Cates really do a lot of play. First period last night.
Yeah.
Made some awesome plays. Love Catesy.
Whole game.
He's just, he really is Coots Jr. right now.
He's blossomed. He's legitimately blossomed into, like, I mean, people are out there, like, they're joking saying, oh, 1C Noah Cates. Like, I'm not going to go that far, but like, he's
on this team right now.
He's very certainly a top 6 center. Like, he's a 2C. To me, he's a 2C. On
this team right now, he is their 1C. Like, he's getting he's getting the heavy defensive minutes. Like, he was playing against Larkin last night, right?
Yeah. And he should be. You could argue he's one of the better all-around forwards on the team.
Yeah. Like, he absolutely is. He's getting a lot of time.
Right now, at the rate he's at, the level he's playing at this exact moment, you could argue that he is more crucial to the team than Mishkov.
For their current success, you definitely could argue that
this exact moment. That's what I'm not saying long term he's going to be, better than Mishka, because that's not true. Because
that's simply not true.
That's literally not true.
But
Noah Cates right now is playing so well, and I think you could legitimately argue that he's one of the very most important players on the team right now. He's that good. Sure.
But I was super impressed watching Cates last night, and you know who really impressed me? And I'm still in shock that I'm saying this stuff after I don't know my opinion on this guy 2 years ago. Rasmus fucking Ristolainen, man. I was loving watching Risto in that game last night. He was making so many good plays, and he really was hard to play against. I was stunned.
It finally happened, Steve. All these years talking about, we want to be hard to play against. This is that, and how we do that is we go out and we get Rasmus Ristolainen, and it was just the dumbest fucking idea. But now it's come full circle. And you know what, Steve? We have to give all credit to the world to friend of the show, Brad Shaw. He has done God's work with Rasmus Ristolainen, turning him into not only a competent defenseman, a fucking good defenseman.
Good. Risto, man. I was loving Risto. He ended up with the winner last night. I mean, most of the work was done by Owen Tippett on that goal. Owen Tippett made a great move. I was so impressed by what Owen Tippett did. I couldn't believe that puck didn't go in at first, that it needed the Risto tap in. But, dude, Risto went in full barrel and tapped that shit in. It was great. Yeah. And he was just making smart plays all night. He was just he impressed me in that one. He was really impressive in some of the games last week. I'm on board now. I see it. So it was just
you want to keep him. You don't want to trade him.
I absolutely want to trade him.
There we go.
I want to trade him, get that first round pick back. Let's go.
Yeah. Honestly, that is the only answer to that question. I know, and listen, I know we're going to probably, actually, I don't even think I wrote this down in the sheet, but
let's talk about it right now. Let's do it.
Danny Briere had his mid-season press conference. And one of the things he said that everyone's talking about is, he basically came out and said, I am not shopping Rasmus Ristolainen. If we got rid of him, that would be a huge hole. Exactly. That's what it is. That is him.
He's fish. I'm making fishing motions for the people not watching.
He is. That is a negotiation tactic that he's using right there. Yeah. He is saying this guy's invaluable.
We don't want to keep this guy more.
If you want him, you're going to have to give us so much shit. He's that good. That's what he is doing. Really, I think that's what Danny Briere is doing. But if the Flyers, I'm telling you right now, I don't care where they are. I know right now, we were talking about this before the show. Each week, we can do this godforsaken show, and we have no fucking clue where the Flyers stand, right?
None.
We have no clue. Last week, we were like, oh, this team's not a playoff team. And now all of a sudden, they're 2 points out of a playoff spot. I still don't think they're a playoff team at all. But I'm telling you right now, Steve, if the trade deadline comes and they remain 2 points out of a playoff spot, and they don't trade Rasmus Ristolainen, that is mismanagement. Because
now, I've seen people make the argument that the better place to trade him is the draft.
It could be. But, I mean, because at that point, he would only have 1 year left on his contract. I believe he would only have that 1 year left.
Right. I'm a big fan of trade deadline pressure, especially from GMs that want to make a splash for their fan bases. And personally, I would love to just get Sean Walker last year. I still think it's Danny Briere getting a first for Sean Walker.
Crazy.
Just that was gamesmanship right there. That was some top-notch shit right there from Danny Briere. That is general managering to whatever the fullest extent. And I really love that move. So, and I don't know if you get that for him at the draft. Well, I mean, he was a free agent, so you weren't getting that for him at the draft regardless. But I don't know. I feel like the trade deadline really inflates some of these values higher than they should be.
Look at Tanner Jeannot. Nashville got a king's ransom for Tanner Jeannot. And then, he's not even, is he even on Tampa anymore? I don't think he even is.
Is he on Nashville?
Well, he went to Nashville. So,
I'm looking it up. I'm all over it.
Yeah, now he's on the Kings.
He's on the Kings.
Yeah. So like, it's just, I think at the trade deadline, that's when you're so right. Like there's pressure and GMs feel that pressure and they're like, well, I have to do something. Like we need to do something to bolster our blue line here. Like, what are we going to do? We only have 20 minutes left. And then the pressure gets to them and they're like, fuck it. 2 firsts, Rasmus Ristolainen right now. Like, that would not happen because I don't think anyone's that insane, but like, I struggle to live in a world where it's the trade deadline and the Flyer. Like, I think they're going to be offered a first-round pick for him. Would they have to retain some salary? Yeah, they probably would. But, cool, man, if they're getting offered a first-round pick, I want that first-round pick. That's where the Flyers are right now. They're accumulating draft capital. This is kind of their deal right now. They're in this weird in-between thing, which it seems like they've been in that weird in-between abyss
for 20 years.
10 years. But it seems like now they're actually doing it the right way, where they're actually like doing stuff. They're not just like sitting there being middling. They're actually trading players like Sean Walker. They're actually, just the fact that Rasmus Ristolainen is even in this conversation is crazy. And like, I just think you have to, if a team comes calling and they're making a good offer, you have to do it. I don't care if you're in a playoff spot.
Yeah.
And there's precedent that they will, because this is exactly what happened last season. Flyers were in a playoff spot.
They kept talking about signing Sean Walker. They were like, yeah, we're going to sign him.
Yeah. Yeah. Like they are going to the playoffs if they don't trade Sean Walker.
Yeah,
and
I think so.
Same thing this year. Like you got Rasmus Ristolainen, get what you can now.
Because ultimately, at the end of the day, like this team might make the playoffs, but this team is not winning the Stanley Cup.
No, it's not.
It's not going to happen. Okay. And if you think there's a chance of that, you're fooling yourself. Like, this is not the like St. Louis Blues from a few years back. It's just not the case. This team ain't winning the cup. So you might as well get good assets. Like that's not to say they can't do it in the next few years. Like, sure, you got to keep overhauling the roster, though. You have to work towards that. Until this team has a true top-line center that isn't Noah Cates. I love you, Catesy. You're crushing it. You ain't the 1C, though, that we need to turn the page and get to the next level. Like, they need a guy for that. And until they get there, they're not going to be a cup contender.
No. You need to have listen.
Get those lottery balls.
You got to. I think there's a time for building through the draft. I think now is the time to do it, especially when you have all of these assets accumulating. They have so much draft capital right now. And Steve, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Like, yeah, is it nice to use those as lottery balls and get some young players? Yes, it is. You know what's just as nice? Using that to get a proven player. Like that needs to be like use these draft picks to buy a guy. If you can't draft one, just go get him with your draft picks.
Yeah, I mean, depending on who's around, obviously. But like, I agree with you. Well, especially because Mishkov's here now. Like, that's such a difference maker for me. And like, again, Mishkov year 1 is going to be very different than Mishkov year 2. I was talking about this with Bill Matz the other day. Like, the way Mishkov's conditioning this offseason is going to be, the way he's going to come in next year, I feel like we're going to be seeing a different player.
Yeah,
because he's going to like have North American training and facilities and everything. And like everything the Flyers have is going to be there for him. So you're going to have a different player in Mishkov next year. Travis Konechny is in his prime. Travis Konechny is unbelievable right now.
Yeah.
You do have like, and Owen Tippett's very good. So, and Noah Cates is doing great. Tyson Forrester's on the way up. Like you really do have some great players that you can do a lot with. And even on the defensive end, I mean, Cam York, solid player back there. Travis Sanheim's having a really solid year. Like you have good pieces on defense. So like you can be talking in the next few years about like having a good team that can make playoff runs and stuff like that. But you need to get that piece at the top. You need to a 1C, even just like a 2C right now, like somebody to start building those blocks. Cause like you'll have Luchenko in the next few years. We don't know what his ceiling is. His ceiling probably isn't 1C.
No.
So like, you do need to find that compliment, and you got some magic here. You don't have a lot of it, but you have some, and you have pieces to build around.
Yes. And that's the thing is with this team, like, kind of like what I was saying before. They're in that awkward spot where they're like not quite playoff team, but like they could be if a couple things go the right way. And like
specifically
honestly,
goaltending.
I feel like you just have to like in another, take this off season, make some moves to just say, all right, this is it. Now we're actually going for the playoffs. And then, like that's when you not go for it. Like you don't want to be all in and be like, no, we're not going to the playoffs. We're trying to win the cup. Like, let's be realistic. But at the same time, like I do think that there's value in, trying to accumulate some assets now this season. And then once you have, Mishkov has another year under his belt. We're seeing Tyson Forster. We're seeing Noah Cates. We're seeing Bobby Brink. We're seeing like all these guys are playing really, really, really well. Travis, you just said it. Travis Sanheim is playing the best hockey of his life. Like now I feel like is the time to go out and find and identify the people where it's like, hey, let's trade for this guy. Like how long is this wait going to be? And
right, because you don't want to end up like Ron Hextall. Ron Hextall did a good job tearing down the cap for this team and getting assets, and he made some nice picks, right? Like Travis Sanheim was one of his picks, right? Like
Travis Konechny,
the Travi. Like he made some nice picks. He made some good moves, but then he didn't do anything to make the team competitive at the NHL level. He got guys like Dale Weiss, the Dutch Gretzky over there. Like he didn't do stuff that like actually helped the current team. And he wasted some of the best years of Claude Giroux's life right there. Like it sucks to think about. So you don't want to you want to be like early Hexy. You want to be like early Paul Holmgren. You don't want to be like those guys later in their tenure. Paul Holmgren, before the Richards and Carter and Brizgalov debacle had an unbelievable run as GM of the Flyers. Mm-hmm. Like he was fantastic. Yeah. But then he lived long enough to see himself the villain over there. And I think Hextall though is the more applicable like measure here. Where you don't want to wait too long to pull the trigger. And I think now that Mishkov's over here, this is a great time. Look, you got 3 first-round picks. You trade Risto, you might have 4. Okay, that's a lot of capital to work with.
Yeah. Take the opportunity. Take advantage of this. Yeah. Like, how often are you going to have 4 first-round picks? It's 4 first-round picks, Steve. It's crazy.
Yeah. It is crazy.
Do something with that. Don't just like, I know it's tempting to be like, well, there's these 4 really good prospects we could, and there's this one we could just trade up. Like, sure. Like maybe if there's like like you're dead certain this guy's going to be just an absolute dog of an NHL player, maybe you trade up for a guy like that. Whatever you can, buy a player who's proven, bring him over here, and let's see what happens. Let's see what this team looks like with a proven top 6 center. Right now, like Sean Couturier is not a top 6 center anymore. I'm sorry, he's not.
Right now he isn't. He's doing a good job on the third line over with Farabee and Mishkov. I'm liking that, but it's doing well because there's less pressure from the top 6 matchups on the other teams.
Right. But like, at this point, Sean Couturier, like 3C, Noah Cates at best 2C. There is no 1C on this team. Like
it ain't Morgan Frost.
And you know what? It's certainly not Morgan Frost. And if you go out and you just get another 2C, like there are worse tandems to have as a 1 and 2C than Noah Cates and another proven guy who's been a 2C for years in the NHL. I'm not saying to go out and get some 32-year-old. That's not what I'm saying.
Ryan Quigley's out here saying, go get a 32-year-old. Go get somebody who's been around the block, who knows his way around an NHL locker room. Okay, experience.
If there's like a 20, listen, I know that this is, it's so much easier said than done. But if there's like a 27, 28-year-old guy, go out there and get that guy. And if they're proven, then, take that swing. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And it's not like the Flyers have no prospects right now. And it's not like they won't have even more prospects. Look at all the draft capital they have. Like the Flyers have flexibility right now. And I think that's what I'm saying. In the grand scheme, they need to take advantage of this flexibility.
Yeah, I agree with that. I kind of wish they were more in on guys like Pettersson, but they might not have the capital to pull off that kind of trade. And for good reason. Pettersson's fantastic. But like, ultimately, I do want them in on somebody like that if the occasion does arise in the next few years.
Right.
Well, the next year I would prefer, but I know Briere's working on. He said it in the press conference. He's working on it. But so I want to get into briefly a quick topic, but before I get into that, 2 shout outs from the Wings game real quick. 3 shout outs. First, I ran into, I guess this counts as 2, ran into 2 different Red Wings fans last night. One of them, while walking into the stadium, had a lovely conversation about Dylan Larkin and the Detroit Lions. I expressed my condolences for him and his football squad. He was in town for a trip, happened to see the Red Wings were playing for the Flyers, and just said, "Oh, yeah, I'll go to the game." So good for him.
Yeah.
Other guy was sitting right in front of me, and number one, I dropped my phone at one point, and I keep some cards in my phone and everything, and he helped pick them up. So shout out to that guy, a true gentleman over there.
King.
He dealt with me over analyzing everything happening and talking at length about like how great Noah Cates was. So he got a full conversation there. But after Ben Sherratt scored for the Wings to tie the game up, I was like, of all the fucking guys, you let up a goal to. It's not Dylan Larkin. It's not Mo Sider. It's Sherratt. The guy turned back and he said, "Yeah, tell me about it." I love that.
Yeah, I love little like kind of exchanges like that with random ass people who root for the other team at hockey games.
Yeah, that was fun. And then finally, Rodrigo, is it Abols? Is that his last name?
I think Abols.
Abols.
Yeah.
Well,
I was going to make a tweet last night about like smoking Abols.
There you go.
But I didn't.
My first thought was Willing and Abols. So there you go.
That's
but,
good.
I can't believe that guy's name is Rodrigo.
Rodrigo, baby.
I heard the name Rodrigo and I was definitely expecting a Latino man. And when I saw he was like the blondest guy ever, I was like, well, are you kidding me? Hockey even whitewashed Rodrigo. What's going on here?
There needs to be more names like that in hockey.
There too.
Basically the entire, like any name that was in the song Alejandro by Lady Gaga, we need to have Alejandro, Roberto. Weren't there some other? Was Rodrigo one of the names in that song?
I don't know. I don't know that song very well.
But yeah, more names like that. That would be fun in hockey.
It'd be nice to get more non-Gord names, more non-Bradens.
Yeah, no more Bradens. We've had enough.
We've had enough Bradens for a lifetime. Yeah. And, you also see some Alekseis get like Aleksei Kolosov, who might finally be going to the Phantoms to get some time developing at the level he should be at.
Yes.
I've liked a lot of what I've seen from Aleksei Kolosov. And we don't know how long this trip's going to be to Lehigh Valley. It might just be because the Flyers don't have any weekend games this weekend. But, like, he hasn't played much in the past couple of weeks. And frankly, like, I like his style. I think he's got some good speed, but he is not ready for the pace of play at the NHL level yet. So he needs time in Lehigh Valley. I wish he would spend the rest of the season there.
I think that would be optimal. And, right now, like, I don't know what's going to end up happening long-term here. Like, he could be down there for 2 weeks and then the same thing happens again, where it's just like, I don't like Allentown. I've been locked in my room without food or water. I haven't seen sunlight in 5 days. Like,
Gordon Ramsay keeps coming up to me in a fake beard saying, "You want to go fancy a game of puck?"
Yeah. Kevin Hayes walks by his hotel room, knocks on it, like, just starts laughing.
Just like ding dong ditch.
Yeah. Just ding. Yeah. So,
leaves flaming dog poo.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I hope he stays down there because I think that's the best place for him to develop right now. And it seems like, based off of rumors, of course, that he is more of the opinion of, no, the best place for me to develop would be either the NHL or Russia. I disagree. I think he needs to be in the AHL.
I'm not even gonna lie. At this point, like, I'm so over it that I'm just like, if you want to go back to Russia, that's fine. I don't care.
Yeah, but it seems like, I don't think they make this move unless they're confident that he's staying down there.
Yeah. I think the AHL is a much better place for him to develop. But now the coaching at the AHL level here, okay, I agree with him being dubious there. But, like, I think the AHL is closer to the NHL level of play, and also learning some of your future teammates there, because there are guys that he'll play with in the future at some point. So like, it would be a good experience for him. I wish he would embrace it and frankly stay there for the rest of the season, because I think he needs to get used to this style of play, the North American speed of the game, and I think the AHL is the place to find out.
And it's possible he will embrace it. It is. Like, again, like I just said, like, I don't think they're sending him down there if he's not like, you know what, yeah, let's do this, you know.
There's a reason they've been carrying 3 goalies, which is nuts, by the way.
Yeah, it's gone on for too long. I'm glad it's over for now. But you know, we'll see how he does. It would be very encouraging if he goes down there and he plays really well. Because, like, listen, if you're down to the AHL and you're playing really well, like, I have a hard time envisioning you being like, I fucking hate this.
Fucking hate this.
Why'd
you do this to me, Dad?
Why am I winning?
Briere?
I fucking hate winning. It's just.
Well, I don't know how much winning you're doing down there, but
yeah, no, probably not much.
But maybe if he's lights out, they're winning a lot more games.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm glad he's in the AHL. That's where he belongs for right now. And I do think it'll be good for his development. And honestly, Steve, like we've talked about it before, I think he will be an NHL goalie one day, whether that's, you know, the caliber, I don't know, but I think he's certainly has the makings of being a goalie in the NHL to some degree.
I am more confident that we'll see him as an NHL goaltender in 3 years than I am with Ivan Fedotov.
I agree.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree. Yeah. But right now, Fedotov is probably the better choice.
I think he's number one. I don't know how he does it, but he gets results in this backup role. I don't understand it. And also the thing is, like, you have less of a commitment to him. You know, you have a couple years on that contract, but it's like, whatever. Cause like,
and after
who cares? Like, he's 27. If he doesn't work out, he doesn't work out. He's like, or he's 28 now, right? Like,
yeah,
if he doesn't work out, he doesn't work out. Who cares? But Kolosov, like, that's a long-term project right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the thing is, Aleksei, ultimately, if you don't want to deal with this, Carson Bjarnason, we got some Fragging the Dragon coming up. Like, we got some guys. So, like, we want you to work out, but, like, we got some options.
Yeah, it's not like we're dependent. It's not like you are, like, our missing piece. Like, we need you specifically. Like, no, not at all. Like,
this isn't like when Hart was coming up a few years ago and it was like, this is the end all be all. Like, if this guy doesn't work out, we are screwed.
Yeah.
Well, you know, less said about that, the better. But, yeah. Okay. Well, folks, I think my throat has reached the end of the dusty trail for the evening. So, we were just getting into it, it felt like, but I think we got to cut it off right here. But we got some good hockey talk in, Quigster.
Yeah, we got some pretty good stuff. I think we hit on all the key points.
Yeah. Well, guess what? In theory, I should be doing PHLY post game tomorrow night, so we'll see how that goes. But so you'll hear me there. But guess what? We will be back with probably a big old maximum size Flyperbole next week. Very excited for that. Oh, wow. And oh wow, how about that? But if you have any feedback for us, the best place is on Blue Sky. Quigs, where can people find you on there?
Oh, you can find me at Ryan Quigs with a Z. You can also find me on X, but I'm not really. Blue Sky's better, so yeah.
Yeah. Also, X is just. I don't want to get into that
anymore. It's gotten weird. Like there's all these weird ads. It's
It's unusable, but also the guy running it.
He sucks.
He sucks hard. He sucks hard. But the less said about that, the better. Okay, you can find me over at Flyperbole or at Esteban. If it's for hockey purposes, make it Flyperbole. It's Flyperbole on Instagram. It's Flyperbole on TikTok, which went away for like 2 minutes, whatever. So we're there. You'll see video clips when I get them up. I don't know when it's going to happen this week, but they will go up. But yeah, thanks so much for listening, folks. We love and appreciate you all. And until next time, in the words of the great Gene Hart, good night and good hockey.
Go Birds.
Go Birds. Wow, 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 wow.